So is it around that time that you linked up with Martin and the guys at Alpha Talent Management?
Yeah, I think it was roughly around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still in New Wave. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it like working with that team and the stable of fighters there? And obviously they're very close knit.
Yeah. They were kind of like a family, and there was a, as I said, nice family feel to it. And Martin really cares about his people, and he kind of helped me without expecting anything back. Like a lot of times he spent a lot of time and a lot of his energy trying to find me fights, trying to help me, trying to sort out whatever issues I had and stuff. So I really appreciate him for that. And even in the end, when he decided to kind of leave managing people behind and like focus on something else, he still offered to like help me find a new manager. Yeah.
And I saw also around, I think it was around this time, probably about 2021, you competed at Polaris Pro in 2021. Going into that, you struggled with some health difficulties going in. Was that with the weight cut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was actually in a perfect shape for that, for the whole like preparation, for the whole duration of that. And I also remember like me and my friend Rachel, we trained a lot jiu-jitsu in the lockdown, and I said like within a year I'm gonna make it on Polaris, and then it happened, and I was like, yeah, like when I got offered the opportunity, it wasn't really the weight that I knew I can safely make for the same day weigh-ins, because I'm fucking stubborn and I really want it. I was like, I can't let it slip through my fingers. I'm gonna make it. It's just weight. Yeah. Obviously I can lose my weight, right? And yeah, plot twist. It wasn't that easy. My body just refused to drop as it would. I got to a certain point, I think I got to like 61 kilos or something, and then I couldn't lose anymore, so I had to cut a little bit of water weight. And then even that water cut wasn't easy after the first. Usually I would do like a few buffs, and then I start feeling like, oh shit, I'm cutting weight, I'm dehydrated, and I feel weak and this and that. That cut was different. For some reason, after the first buff, I was already losing consciousness. I was already feeling like shit. My friends were already like, oh, it looks like we might have to take you to the hospital. I was like, nah, no matter what happens, you're gonna make sure I make this weight. And that's what happened. Like my friend promised me we're gonna make it. We made it, but they pretty much carried me to the weigh-ins, and then from then on we had like a few hours to like recover and that. But I didn't sleep the whole night. My heart rate was like almost 150. My nutrition was like, you've got to stop, like calm down, man. And then I tried to rehydrate, refuel, rest, but none of that really helped. Like I basically don't even remember the whole day. It's a really weird, like eerie experience, because I just remember bits, like kind of flashes of memory. I remember like standing in the warm-up room, and then my friend just slapping the shit out of me and being like, yo bro, wake up. You're gonna like fight in a second. And I'm just like staring through her, looking at the screen, trying to watch other people fighting and stuff. And then like I remember my knee popping really loudly in like the first few seconds of the match, and like my opponent Ashley just looking at me and then I remember feeling stiffness in my leg straight away, and then carrying on. And then I remember the next thing I remember is like waiting for the decision, and the next thing I remember is being in a corridor after the match and saying to my friend like, oh fuck it, I quit grappling and stick to MMA.
But like you said, it's like such a big opportunity that you couldn't really turn down.
Yeah, exactly. And like it wasn't really a terrible match. You could tell that I had no energy. I was just drained. I wasn't my usual self. But it kind of, it was a lesson learned. And now I know that I'm just not gonna agree on a weight that I know I can't make healthily, especially if it's the same day weigh-ins. I had to respect my body, and I did pick up like 2 serious injuries that night as well. And the physio said that was basically because of the dehydration. Yeah. Like my joints had no lubrication, so my shoulder, my knee just got fucked up.
But that doesn't stop you, and you do come back for Grapple Fest.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about that experience, how that went? That was last year, was that?
Yeah, I think that was last May. So yeah, I had quite a few opponent changes for that, but eventually Julia stepped in. And yeah, it was just another grappling match, one of many.
And with your grappling and your jiu-jitsu, so do you train at different places, or is this all based at London Grapple?
So most of my jiu-jitsu is at London Grapple, especially whenever I've got like grappling comps. That's where I tend to focus on jiu-jitsu a little bit more. I would spend a lot of time at London Grapple, and I used to do a lot of the comp mats where we've got grapplers from all over London coming down for Rose. So I always knew that, you know, the level is going to be very high. Obviously, there are so many great coaches in London Grapple as well, from Rose, Aiden, like Dino, everyone there. Like they all have different games. They all teach you something. Matt Inman also, who started coaching there, I think, like last year. Everyone's got different game. Everyone taught me something. So I love coming there. I love learning, and you always have great people to roll with. So definitely, that's one of the places I spend a lot of my time at when it comes to Jiu-Jitsu. And Ashley Grimshaw at GB, he's definitely helped me a lot as well, with a little bit more like the MMA grappling side of my Jiu-Jitsu. But that was kind of what I was missing a little bit, because my Jiu-Jitsu was a little bit too Jiu-Jitsu. Whereas now I added a little bit more smash and violence into it.
I was also interested in seeing what it was like, because I saw that you was working a lot of your striking with Daniel Sam. Wildfighters.
Yeah.
What was that like, working with him? Like, obviously, like, he's so experienced in K1 and kickboxing.
Working with Daniel Sam is absolutely fucking horrible, and at the same time amazing. It's the worst and the best experience possible. It's like you kind of hate him, but at the same time you love him. It's like I remember I spent a lot of time training with him during the preparation for my pro debut, where I had that fight in Dubai. I trained with him at least like once a day, sometimes twice a day, and fucking hell, I hated my life. My body was smashed to bits, but when I walked into that cage, I knew I'm ready for anything. I knew that no matter what happens in this fight, it's not gonna be as bad as the training with him was. Like what he's put me through over that camp. Like, I knew that I can literally, especially mentally, I can push through anything. And my cardio felt amazing. I finished round 3 and I felt like now I'm warm. Like, if I had 2 more rounds, that'd be it for that girl. Like, she'd be dead. So yeah, it was definitely great. Like, I respect him a lot as a person, as a coach. Like, he's amazing, honestly. You can speak to like the inner bitch within you, and like make sure that you get your shit together and you work a little bit more, like that 1% higher than last time, you know.
And I'm aware of what you mean there, because Daniel used to be the coach over at the Fight for Peace Academy where I work, and he's guys like Dylan Adebisi, Joanne Scott, and I mean, I'm seeing them first thing in the morning, and it's like, how long does their session go on for? Like, they're really putting in the work.
3 hours later,
no, seriously, yeah. And it was like, even seeing them, like, I see the work they've putting in over Wildfighters. It's just like, it just continues. These guys are from so young too. And it's just like, I feel sorry for anyone that kind of eventually has to stare across the ring or cage with these guys.
You know, whenever I go and train striking somewhere else now, I just find the session so much easier. Like, even if it's like a harder session, then it's still only like an hour and a half, and like you don't have to do all these extra bits, and you don't have a massive guy coming through like from behind just smacking you with a pad as well.